Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's product profile webinar. My name is Leanne, and I'm the graphic designer of IAB Canada. Today's spotlight is Standout with Streaming, presented by Amazon Ads. The way Canadian consume video content is evolving, and last week we heard insights from Kantar on this connected audience, which can be viewed in our Knowledge Center for IAB Canada members. Amazon is uniquely positioned to help advertisers engage audience from couch to cart. Today, we will learn more about the big bets Amazon Ads is making across Fire TV, streaming TV, Twitch, and online video ads. We welcome you to post your questions in the Q&A section of Zoom at the bottom of your screen, and we will get to them at the end of the presentation or as we go through the presentation. Without any further delay, please welcome our speaker today, Tyler James, Head of Product and Sales Specialist Canada for Amazon Ads.
Thanks, Leanne. Let me just take a second to transition to sharing my screen.
There we go. And then we'd want it in presentation view.
Yeah, 1 second here. Okay. So, thank you for the introduction, Leanne. Nice to virtually meet everyone that's able to join. I'm sure we'll have a few more folks jump on as we go. Leanne, if you want to just mind the chat, because I don't think I'll be able to see it while I'm presenting here, but feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Leanne, feel free to interject and bring those to my attention. Or if folks feel comfortable, just jump on your mic and no issues at all interrupting as I go here. But a really fun topic to talk about. I'm sure a lot of us are big consumers of TV on the call. I certainly am. And when I look at how my household's TV consumption habits have evolved over the last 5 years, certainly a lot of changes during the pandemic when a lot of us were confined to our house or confined to our house for big stretches. You've seen a lot of changes and a lot of movement from traditional linear programming to the variety of streaming services that have popped up. So I think it's a topic that we're all very familiar with as consumers, but it's a fun topic to geek out on as advertisers. So excited to get into it. Before we even get into the actual agenda, I did just want to take a second to maybe recalibrate how you might have Amazon anchored in your mind. You're likely most familiar with Amazon as a retailer, and that's not a bad thing. It's certainly an important part about what makes us unique as an advertiser partner. The fact that 26.7 million Canadians browse and shop on Amazon every month arms us with really important signals that not only help us make your ads more addressable, but it also helps us measure the impact that your ads have on audiences' shopping behavior on and off Amazon. But we're certainly a lot more than a retailer. Amazon is increasingly becoming a really big entertainment pillar in Canadians' lives. Prime Video, probably top of mind, is widely reported as the #2 streaming service in Canada. Our suite of Fire TV devices, the actual Fire TV sticks or Fire TV edition television sets, are the top-selling family of TV devices sold on Amazon. We certainly sell a lot of product, and there's over 200 million devices sold worldwide. You might have heard years ago, Amazon acquired MGM and its library of 21,000 films and TV titles. And that's going to present a lot of exciting opportunities when you pair that with all of the great Amazon original programming that was developed for Prime Video. It's going to give us the opportunity to experiment and expand with our video offerings. Live sports is an area of global investment. In Canada, certainly a priority market for that. So hope to have news to share on that in the years ahead. Twitch is a top live entertainment destination in Canada. And IMDb is not only the number one source for entertainment news in Canada, but it also offers a growing stable of original video programming. So hopefully that helps paint the picture of a company that's committed to earning a spot as an entertainment pillar for Canadians. And it's why I'm really excited to go into this topic at a deeper level and talk to you about the advertising implications of sort of this connected world that we're a part of. So with that said, the agenda I was going to work through today is some macro Canadian sort of video consumption trends, talk a little bit about how we can help you achieve your business objectives with Amazon Video Solutions, talk to some of the ways that we're helping advertisers and businesses validate the business impact that investment has for their bottom line, and then touch briefly just on some of the ways that you can go about activating video ads with Amazon Ads, and on some of those key differentiators. So again, let the questions rip as we go here, and Leanne, feel free to check in with me as we go. But wanted to start with some of the macro trends. One of the major macro trends we're all navigating, both marketers and broadcasters and media companies, is the fact that Canadians are trending away from traditional linear TV and gravitating to digital forms of video. At Amazon, we commissioned a study from Nielsen last year based on a survey of 2,100 Canadians, and found that 50% of Canadians 18 to 50 reported to be cord cutters or cord nevers, and 66% of Canadians were spending more than 1 hour per day consuming streaming TV. We've done this study for 3 years in a row, and this was the first year that the percentage of Canadians consuming 1 hour of streaming TV per day actually eclipsed the percentage of Canadians consuming 1 hour per day of linear TV. So that was a big milestone. And then eMarketer reports that pay TV households are projected to drop by another 13% by 2026. That was actually one of the more conservative numbers that I could find out there, or conservative forecasts. And I think when you question like what's driving this, one of the big things is just the proliferation of connected TV devices and connected TV ownership. As more and more TVs in Canadian living rooms become connected to the internet, and more compelling streaming services come into market, and many of those streaming services, even in the last year, have started to introduce lower priced ad supported tiers. I think you can only expect a lot of these trends to continue. Beyond streaming TV, we're not just talking about streaming TV today, we're talking about sort of video all up. And you're seeing digital video viewership more broadly hitting new heights. There's 28.1 million digital video viewers per month in Canada. Mobile video viewers have grown 29% over the past 5 years. Over that same time frame, Canadians are spending 36% more time with digital video in general. And the next generation of Canadian video audiences are tuning in live on Twitch, where hours live streamed has grown over 400% since 2019. So that's the wave we're all riding. And I want to talk a little bit about how we think we can help marketers, and just how marketers are really thinking about leveraging video to solve some of these challenges and reaching Canadians through video. So one of the great benefits of the video solutions that we're designing is that they're meant to help brands achieve a variety of outcomes. They can help brands reach new customers by exposing your brand or product to more potential customers. It can help you increase brand awareness by staying top of mind during key parts of the year. It can help drive traffic. You're seeing more and more experimentation with videos incorporating things like QR codes and whatnot. and with so many Canadians sort of second screening while they're watching TV, you do see a correlation between when these video ads air and when people begin searching for your brand. Certainly an opportunity to increase customer engagement. And finally, at the end of the day, this is all about impacting the bottom line. So there's really interesting things happening now to help connect the dots more directly between your video investment and some of the activity that you're doing maybe lower in the funnel. Some pretty high level findings that I wanted to share for Canada. I think video ads are typically seen as a solution that can help achieve upper funnel objectives. And that's certainly what we tend to lean on them for in the plans we're putting together for clients. And while I think we're pretty uniquely positioned to help on that front, we're also pretty well positioned to help advertisers measure the video investment against sort of full funnel objectives. So you can see when you look at building awareness, an internal analysis by our analytics and insights team, they were able to determine that campaigns that added Twitch or streaming TV to existing display campaigns drove between 9 and 59% higher incremental reach versus campaigns that were display only. So that's great to see. When it comes to driving consideration, that same team was able to identify that campaigns that added streaming TV or online video to display campaigns saw 1.4x to 2.1x higher detail page view rates, which is a metric that's unique to Amazon. That is what we would refer to someone reaching a brand's product page on Amazon. So I think seeing that lift in detail page view rate is a really strong indicator of consideration. And then Amazon video ads can also help drive conversions. And we're well positioned to help validate the impact video is having there. And so we were able to surface that advertisers that had campaigns that added video to maybe their always on sponsored ads or display investment saw between 2 and 3.5x lift in year-over-year sales growth versus advertisers that were only active on sponsored ads and display. So hopefully that starts to build confidence in these kinds of products and how they can complement some of the efforts that you're doing sort of mid and lower funnel. And I think that's probably one of the most exciting things as we look into the future that we're going to be able to help advertisers with. I'll maybe stop there quickly. Any questions on some of these data points that we've gone over before I jump to the video solutions? If so, feel free to let me know.
No questions currently, Tyler. Just a reminder to everyone, there is the Q&A option as well as the chat. If you'd like to raise your hand to verbally ask the question, that is also encouraged.
Thanks. So shifting gears to the actual products that we'll be talking about, we're able to help you reach audiences across a variety of exclusive opportunities. One is our suite of Fire TV devices, one of the top selling devices on Amazon. I'll unpack sort of each of these in some of the subsequent slides, but just as an overview, we've got the Fire TV devices that we can reach audiences on. Select ad-supported Prime Video channels is another opportunity. IMDb, one of the largest entertainment sites in Canada. And then, of course, Twitch, which is a top live entertainment streaming service in Canada. And then maybe not as well known is Amazon Publisher Direct, which is sort of our counterparts at Amazon Ads. They're the team that works with publishers and broadcasters and facilitates direct integrations with leading streaming TV apps and channels, in addition to online video integrations with popular websites and mobile apps. And so they represent sort of a unique bundle of those different types of video products, where there's probably as direct a supply path as you could hope for, and by most measures, they have some of the lowest sort of supply side fees in the industry. So when you're talking about supply path optimization, it creates a really clean path to that inventory. So I'm going to go through each of these products and just briefly touch on them, share some things that make them unique, and explain why they should be sort of in the consideration set for you. So understandably, when we think about TV, we think primarily video, and there's certainly always going to be a place for video and reaching people on their TV. But it's important to recognize and even just think about your own TV consumption habits, that a lot of time is spent using streaming TV services that are within ad-free tiers of SVOD services like a Netflix or a Crave or a Prime Video. And that's why we've developed this suite of Fire TV display formats that allow advertisers to reach audiences on our popular Fire TV family of devices. And you're reaching those audiences while they're in discovery mode. So as they're identifying like what apps or what content they want to jump into. And in many cases, they're en route to those ad-free streaming services or tiers. So take this inline banner, the Avino creative that's on the screen. Take it as an example. It's designed to drive awareness on the big screen, and is available to all advertiser categories. It can be bought on a targeted CPM basis, or you can own key dates by securing 100% or 50% share of voice on a given day. So if you have a big product launch, or you're important for McDonald's, it's a big day like Big Happy Day or Someone's Camp Day. Those are great opportunities to sort of own the big screen in Canadians' homes. And then if the audience were to click on the inline banner, it can go to this full screen sort of video experience and land on this sort of custom landing page. And you might have seen at the beginning, even if people just hover over the inline banner, it actually creates this mini details sort of view where there's a brief description plus the actual thumbnail that can play a video the same way that if you hover over a tile showing a show or a movie, it shows a trailer for that show or movie. The same thing happens with those Fire TV display ads. If you simply hover over the display ad, it'll actually trigger that video playback experience with audio. And again, that's consistent with the expected user experience of hovering over any tile or format on the screen. So that gives you an idea of the Fire TV experience. There's a few different formats. The one you saw was an inline banner. There's a few other placements like a screensaver placement and sort of a larger feature rotator placement. And you might be wondering, like, what is it that maybe makes the Fire TV audience attractive? Well, one big thing is if you've got a 50-inch Amazon television screen on your wall, it's likely that you're a pretty leaned in Amazon customer overall. And so we actually find, and our team did an analysis, that audiences that own Fire TVs actually spend 2 times more annually on Amazon compared to an average Amazon customer. So it's a really attractive audience to get in front of. If you're selling product on Amazon for obvious reasons, even if you're not selling products on Amazon, it just means that we've got really strong signals about these audiences' sort of lifestyle and behavior, and we can utilize that to make the ads for you more addressable, and for the customer to make the ads more personalized. Again, I think it's one of the most overlooked aspects of reaching Canadians on TVs is this idea of sort of connected TV display. So don't hesitate to reach out to Amazon team members, and we can help bring you up to speed or go deeper on this topic. Next up is streaming TV ads, which certainly feel familiar. It's like a traditional TV ad. It's a full screen video ad. It's delivered predominantly on connected TVs. They're non-skippable. We see completion rates north of 95%. They're aired within popular TV and movie programming. Really, the only difference is that you're serving up within the commercial breaks of ad-supported streaming apps and channels, as opposed to traditional linear cable subscription programming. But when you look at what the footprint looks like for streaming TV, it actually looks like maybe a TV guide from the 90s. It's the broadcaster brands that you're really familiar with as an advertiser, as a consumer, and Amazon Publisher Direct, our counterparts at Amazon. They work exclusively with popular streaming TV publishers in Canada that generate a minimum of 50,000 ad-supported viewing hours per month. So none of the sort of like long tail niche stuff. It's big popular brands that Canadians love to spend time with. And sort of a subset of that inventory that's particularly interesting is last year, this is a big bet for us, and Canada's one of the leading locales globally for Amazon on this front. Select Prime Video channels began integrating with Amazon Publisher Direct and making their video inventory available programmatically. So if you're users of the regular Prime Video service, you know there haven't been commercials in the standard Prime Video catalog of shows and movies historically. However, we offer Prime Video channels, which are a mix of free-to-air live channels like a City News, or paid live plus video on demand channels like Chorus's Stack TV, for example, which is a roll-up of, I think, 13 of their popular TV networks like Food Network and HGTV and Global and whatnot. So last year, Select Prime Video channels began making the inventory available programmatically. And it's a big deal for three big reasons. One is it's popular broadcaster programming that advertisers love to incorporate themselves into. The next is that they offer really significant scale. Many of these Prime Video channels have been around for quite some time and have built up really meaningful audiences. And so you're able to just jump in now that those have scaled. And then the last one, which is a really big one, is that because these audiences are consuming this within Prime Video, they're consuming it within a logged in Amazon environment. So whether it's on a Fire TV device or an Apple TV device or a Samsung device, when they're watching this, we're able to identify those Amazon households. And that allows you as an advertiser to leverage all those unique Amazon signals that we have to make the ads as addressable as possible. The other reason it's really powerful is similar to the Fire TV example. People that are Prime members spend considerably more annually on Amazon than an average Amazon customer. So you're actually exclusively reaching Prime members when you advertise within this environment. And this inventory is exclusively available to be activated programmatically through the Amazon DSP. I'll shift over to Twitch, which, if you're not familiar with it, is an interactive live streaming service for content spanning everything from gaming to entertainment to sports and music and more. Those that use Twitch love it. I think the best example I can come up with from my experience using Twitch that speaks to sort of the magic of Twitch is I pulled up Twitch on my Fire TV. I jumped into a musician performing live on Twitch, and you can actually type in to Twitch and engage with that creator sort of live while they're performing. And I noticed that my wife and kids were engaged in their own screens as we sat on the couch. And so just for fun, I typed into the Twitch chat, like, hey, my family's not paying attention. I'd love to show them the magic of Twitch. Can you give a shout out to the James family? And sure enough, the musician noticed that. She gave a shout out to my family, and my family immediately like looked up from their devices, being like, wow, what just happened? And so maybe not surprisingly, that's become a tradition in our household, is to pull up some music streamers and watch that as a family. You might be surprised to learn just how big Twitch is. The monthly unique visitors is eclipsed 8 million Canadians per month, which is almost 1 in 5 Canadians. And it's an audience that largely consists of the harder to reach Gen Z and millennial. In fact, Twitch offers a really high concentration of adults 18 to 34. A great way to think of Twitch is that it's the equivalent to live TV for a new generation of audiences. And when you compare it to many of the popular TV channels that you might have associated with this audience, you'll see it's a really high concentration. The other cool thing about Twitch that speaks to how it's consumed like TV is just the average sort of length of time that a session lasts. So an average Twitch session lasts just over 70 minutes, which is pretty impressive. It's longer than an average session on Netflix and YouTube combined. And it's 3.3x longer than an average session on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and Snapchat all rolled up together. So that's the way I've tried to frame Twitch, is that it really is TV-like to the audiences that use TV. It sort of scratches the same itch as TV. And you might rightfully assume that you're reaching that audience through some of the major social channels. But ComScore actually shows very limited overlap between Twitch and these popular social channels. So again, I think Twitch has a really strong role to play for Canadians, and is probably in many cases underutilized by advertisers. And then last but not least, we offer online video ads that reach audiences not only on imdb.com, but also third-party publisher sites through the Amazon Publisher Direct relationships. So online video ads appear both in-stream, sort of before, during, and after video content, and outstream, sort of in non-video environments between text and images across desktop, mobile, and tablet. And these video ads are really complementary to one another. You might have seen on some of the slides previously, we've got some really great better together data points. So when coupled with streaming TV, or in this case, sorry, when coupled with Twitch, online video ads delivered 2.3x incremental reach versus Twitch alone. And this just gives you an idea of the kinds of publishers that Amazon Publisher Direct is integrated with. I'd say relative to Twitch and streaming TV, online video probably has the most recognized scale that we can leverage the unique sort of Amazon targeting signals, and allows for those to be deployed as like sort of the predominant targeting strategy of a video campaign. By leveraging these first-party segments, you can target consumers based on their behavior on Amazon and Amazon-owned properties. And a study showed that campaigns were 44% more effective in driving consideration when they leverage behavioral targeting like this compared to general demographics. And I think that makes sense. If I'm an auto advertiser and I'm looking to maybe reach a prospective SUV buyer, do you think simply targeting like adults 45 plus, maybe with household 100 plus, is going to be the right solution there? Or alternatively, we could help you reach known owners of 4-year-old minivans based on like the garage data that Amazon has, which is a tool that we afford customers on Amazon where they input their vehicle, make and model, and it filters results that they search for, like auto products on Amazon, to the car that they own. We could also filter for maybe audiences that purchase kids' clothing and toys and books and whatnot, to identify households with kids that would be fine for an SUV. Maybe they're in market for outdoor recreation gear and stream outdoor and adventure programming, which as an auto marketer, you might have strong feelings about that being indicative of SUV buyers. So those are some of the ways you can sort of bring the targeting capabilities that Amazon has to life, and utilize them in your campaigns. So those are the major video products. I wanted to take a brief second to touch on a new innovation that we're working on. So it's very early days, but it's a really exciting product. People normally get pretty excited when they see this. It's called virtual product placement. Now I had a video sort of teaser that showed this in action, but I was piloting it with Leanne before everyone jumped on, and the playback wasn't ideal through Zoom. So I'll have to just do it justice with a voiceover. I think product placement has certainly been around for a very long time, but it's not always very easy due to the long lead times. It's not easy to execute because of the long lead times that are required to get involved and have a product incorporated into an actual program. So that's where virtual product placement comes to the rescue. It's product placement reimagined for the streaming world, and it allows you to weave your brand seamlessly into that content at scale. So a growing collection of Amazon original programming have signed up to participate in the virtual product placement beta. This is where I would have normally showed you the video trailer, but this screenshot is going to have to do. The idea here is, imagine you're watching this show. The water bottle that's sort of highlighted there actually wasn't part of the show when it was originally filmed, but using some of the incredible technology that the engineers at Amazon Advertising have built, we can actually integrate 3D renderings of products. We could integrate billboards into the background of programs, all after the show is actually filmed. And so it presents a ton of really cool opportunities. As the product evolves, the plan is for it to become dynamic. So when I'm watching Jack Ryan and when you're watching Jack Ryan, the actual brands that might be visible to you and I could actually be different. So a really awesome opportunity for brands to participate in stories in a non-disruptive way. Represents a great complement to streaming TV buys because the placement's often happening in content that is uninterrupted by commercial breaks. So it's super early days, but it gives you a cool glimpse into the future of how advertisers are going to potentially be able to drive awareness moving forward. Now, continuing on the journey here, validating the impact of your video investment. We've got a lot of tools in our arsenal. There's a whole suite of solutions if you're looking to measure reach, just sort of the standard reporting. I think a lot of partners get this right, being able to report on unique reach and frequency, that really matters. So that becomes sort of table stakes. But measuring the impact on brand, we've got support for all the big third-party brand lift providers. We also earlier this year, launched the Amazon Brand Lift solution. So there's a panel of thousands of Canadians that share their receipts and answer, share their receipts for offline shopping, We obviously have line of sight into their Amazon shopping behavior. There is questions that they answer as panelists. And so we're able to identify when these panelists are exposed to your ads, and also which panelists weren't exposed to your ads. And so we can do some of those control group studies and show what kind of impact that had. And often the minimum investment to run third-party brand lift studies can be out of reach for from some campaigns or some advertisers. And so our Amazon brand lift solution was designed to make that more approachable. And then there's other partners that we work with, like Foursquare and folks that can help measure sales offline lift. We've got our Amazon attribution solution, and then Amazon Marketing Cloud. The adoption of that by brands in Canada has been really impressive to see, and that's our secure, privacy-safe, cloud-based clean room solution. So that's where you can bring your data and Amazon data, like campaign data, together and do some really cool things. And so, as examples of that, this is what something like AMC is capable of pulling. This was an all-up Amazon ad solution or study that was done using AMC. It's based on more than 600 campaigns last year and starts to illustrate what different exposure combinations drove the highest performance in terms of detailed page view rates. So you can see how Fire TV plus display outperformed just display only, streaming TV plus display outperforming just display only, and online video plus display outperforming display only. And again, DPVR is digital page view rate, which is customers that are landing on a product page on Amazon pre-post exposure to these ads. Even if you don't sell a product on Amazon, AMC can be a really valuable tool. So this is an example of a report that's showing which ad exposure combinations drove the highest performance in terms of conversions. This is just an example, but it is consistent with what we see, which is that time and time again, a common thread amongst the top performing ad exposure combinations is that they included one or more of these video products that we've discussed today. So continuing on in terms of how you can get started with Amazon ads, we do make available our video solutions sort of through your preferred method of activation. So we've got a managed service offering if you don't have the bandwidth or sort of capabilities to buy self-serve. And then all the products we've discussed are available or on the path to being available through the Amazon DSP on a self-serve basis. So all the major agencies in Canada utilize the Amazon DSP. Lots of brands that have maybe in-house parts of their digital would have access to using the Amazon DSP. So whether it's managed service or self-service, we're here to help you. For those that are buying through the Amazon DSP, there's lots of cool things we can do with video. We can use sort of the programmatic guaranteed buying approach to secure really sought after inventory well in advance. So lots of advertisers have used programmatic guarantee to secure their video buys for Q4 when contention gets really high. We also support the lowest PG console fees out there. So when you're weighing like the different DSPs that you might have at your disposal, it becomes pretty meaningful. Our PG console fees are just 1%. I've heard they're often 5% or higher through other DSPs, so there's some efficiencies to unlock there. We also can work with you to facilitate PMP-based buying, whether that's single publisher PMPs or multi-publisher PMPs. The thing to keep in mind is that with PMPs, you could actually start to layer on Amazon audience targeting across those PMPs. You might not be able to scale the entire investment that you have planned for that PMP with, say, category shopper type audience targeting layered on top. But even if you could make 25% of a 100K investment really precision targeted to people that are shopping in your category on Amazon, I think that's a big step forward. And then there's sort of the open option. So maybe you care less about running in Food Network versus Global versus City TV Plus, and you care more about reaching certain personas. You can layer on that Amazon audience targeting across a large bundle of streaming TV or OLV inventory, and really lean into the audience targeting. And we do have support for, I've talked a lot about Amazon Publisher Direct, sort of our publisher side solutions, but lots of publishers in Canada work with SpotX or Freewheel or Magnite or AdX to power their deals. So I'm happy to report that we are able to facilitate deals powered by all of these leading SSPs. So again, something to consider is if you're activating these kinds of deals through other DSPs, you might want to experiment with activating those same kinds of deals through the Amazon DSP so you can leverage some of our unique targeting and measurement capabilities. And then video creative remarketing has become a really critical, like, strategic element to video plans. So with video creative remarketing, you can add or exclude exposed audiences from your other awareness campaigns. Like if the goal was to drive maximum unique reach, you could have your streaming TV and Twitch and OLV and Fire TV buys like work together. So you're basically excluding them from one another. Like when you reach an audience on streaming TV, you could instantly start to exclude that audience from your Twitch buy or your OLV buy to take your budget and scale it to the maximum unique reach possible. The other thing you could do is use video creative remarketing for sequential messaging and maybe drive some further consideration by showing audiences sort of different elements of your product. And then probably the most popular one is building a remarketing segment off of all of your video exposed audiences, so that you can remarket to them with your lower funnel activities, knowing that they've seen maybe your 30-second spot or something along those lines. So that brings me to the end here. Might have an opportunity to give folks back a bit of time, but hopefully some of the stuff I've gone over has set off some light bulbs in your mind for some of the things that are possible today or things you want to talk about for the future. But when I think about what are the three big pillars of differentiation, one is we've got the unique access to Fire TV audiences, to Prime Video channel audiences, and Twitch audiences. And again, that logged in Amazon relationship with our customers and audiences gives you a real advantage on Fire TV devices and Prime Video environments. The next one, which is certainly a big one, is the measurement and targeting strengths. It's a big strength for us as a major retailer. Our ability to target and measure video ads based on people's shopping behavior on Amazon is really incredibly unique. And then lastly, with Twitch and a growing stable of live streaming TV supply, Canadians are really leaned in with live programming. I think for years and years, streaming TV meant video on demand, but a lot of those big live moments are now starting to pop up on streaming services, both our own and the ones we partner with. And when it comes to immersive, things like virtual product placement and figuring out really unique ways to incorporate your brands actually like deeply into the programming, or I didn't even have a chance to touch on it today, but there's unique things that you can start to do, pulling in things like Alexa call to actions into your creative. So live and immersive are two themes that I think you'll see consistently pop up from Amazon now and moving forward. So with that, brings me to the end. If there's any questions, I'm happy to clarify anything I went over today. We just, for anyone that's maybe shy, I've got my email here. Jump back to, so it's on the screen. Please don't hesitate to email me. Ty Jams. If I was ever to become a DJ, I've got my DJ name all set up with my email alias, tyjams@amazon.com. So please put that to use and let me know how we can help you with your plans today and in the future.
Amazing. Thank you, Tyler. Yes, of course, the Q&A option is available, but if you'd also like to verbally ask your questions, you can just use the raise hand function and we'll set up your audio. We'll give the questions just another minute or so in case anyone's feeling shy. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Tyler, for taking this time to do the webinar. You know, it's great to see a platform leader like Amazon take streaming to the next level. And of course, Amazon will be at our next Business of Digital event on October 3rd at the Great Hall in Toronto. Of course, if there's any questions, please feel free to reach out to Tyler or your Amazon representative. You can also reach out to us at events@iavcanada.com, which we can also forward to Tyler. So it doesn't seem like we have any questions at the moment. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Again, thank you to Tyler, and we'll give you back the rest of your afternoon.
Awesome. And Leanne, I'll just maybe as a closing note just say we've got some really big things coming that I wasn't at liberty to discuss today, but stay tuned, watch the space. Lots of cool development underway that will see the light of day in the weeks ahead. So lots of excitement brewing.
Awesome, Tyler. We're definitely looking forward to it.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good one, everyone.
Yeah. Bye now.